What is up, guys? It's your favorite. No, not your favorite. Your fellow collector, Ralphie, aka here. Well, upon going out in Target once, the local Target, which I'm gonna start working in pretty soon, as security. So don't try to steal anything. Well, anyways, yeah. I went over there and I was checking out some figures and I found this figure along with Juggernaut and the classic Captain America. I bought all three of them, not at the same time, but some people, some of us collectors, I think, some of us are guilty of this. You can admit it here if you want to. I'm not ashamed to say it. I actually would hide some of the figures behind stuff where, nobody would expect to find it. And if it's in a place where they basically, they don't really, check up on because nothing really sells out over there. But I, stop by every now and then to make sure everything's still there. So, like, I actually currently have, like, about 20 figures stuffed behind something because I put some Star Wars and some Transformers in there, too. And some DC figures because, like, those end up selling out faster. And the other ones, they actually don't seem to be going anywhere, so I could, I don't have to worry about those. But anyways, all right. Now, you're wondering why this Wolverine has a different head. It's because they realized they fucked up on the other Wolverine with this same outfit and everything, so they gave him a brand new head. And it's a better head, too. It doesn't look ridiculous, and it fits it really good. And I think, if you want to switch the heads, with this one and some other Marvel Universe Wolverine figures, that's perfect because you could just buy a few of these for as many masked Wolverines you have and just, pop them on and that's it. And it fits it perfectly. And the head part, though, it's kind of stiff. It's very stiff. It takes a bit of work to, like, pull it out. But, like, you can pull it out without breaking it, but I suggest not to put too much force into it, because then, yeah, you'll break it if you put a lot of force. But, yeah, going to the review. This has the same body sculpt as the last Wolverine figure I did, so it's nothing new. This one also had that same issue where the legs came in kind of crooked, so I left it on the stand, and I never took it off. If you could actually see here, to see how similar the sculpt is, if you look really close, you can see the lines drawn from the other Wolverine figures. So that kind of, bothers me. And same thing over here. You could kind of see the texture of the trunks right there that he wears on his, on his normal costumes, and it just bothers me because, it's not really there on this costume. This costume kind of makes it look more like he has a leotard on top of shit, but that's just me. But yeah, it's not. But overall, this figure isn't bad. I mean, this has the same articulation. Spins 360. Oh, crap. Hold on a second here. Okay. Spins 360 degrees here. So does the wrist. Has that same trigger finger type of thing that I mentioned. The coloring, though, the painting is not too consistent. As you can see, it's more of a yellow here, and then here you can kind of tell you can see some blue on there. Same thing here. And on the top, too, a little bit. The head, it turns. It has that same thing with the head, but, you can't fully notice it. Like, with these newer head sculpts, they make it so unnoticeable that you think you think they changed certain bits of it. But at the same time, I'm not complaining too much. It's just that sometimes it hinders the motions for the head. So, like, if you want to put it so that way he's looking right at you, you can't fully do it because some of them, because some of the heads are sculpted in a way where, like, you can't really move it up enough, and the way the neck is, it's kind of arched. Kind of like almost like a hunchback kind of way. So it kind of sucks that's happening to it. Oh yeah, and when it's packaged, the claws came out just a tiny bit crooked, but it's not too much. And as for these, I left these like that in an effort to try to keep them spread out because it was like it looked all tied in together. So like I didn't want to leave it like that. The leg articulations are standard for the Marvel Universe ones. No big surprise, which is cool because I don't, I'll be honest, I wish they had a swivel at least over here or something, but it doesn't. But either way, it makes it easier for customizing, but I don't do it that much, so in a way, it's kind of like take the rough with the smooth. So, what can you do? But this one's very textured, like, and they take the time to put, the bits and pieces that are important here, like the belt, the the straps with the pouches, although Wolverine doesn't really carry shit. And you see the boots sculpted on there. I'll give them props on that. Those guys who originally did Marvel Legends really do this, figure line a great service, and they keep it, they keep everything consistent, they keep everything in line, and they don't screw it up. I just wish the Spider-Man line didn't really suffer from that, because some of the figures actually come out with, not that articulated. On top of that, some body parts are like bent already, so they're kind of stuck in a certain pose. I mean, I bought a Rhino, and I was disappointed to see that it had, it had the knees bent already. So I had to stand, and the feet were kind of bent too. So I had to stand in a kind of way where it looked like he was running. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it, and he would just fall. So I was kind of disappointed in that. But yeah, all in all, great figure. I would give this a 9 out of 10. The paint is just the only bitch I have, and the only, nitpick I have about it, kind of, and some of the sculpting is kind of left over from the other Wolverine figures, but it's still great. This one's still great. I mean, if you're a Wolverine fan, you definitely want to get like all the Wolverine figures that pop up on the line, because they do them enough justice for you to, still want to buy them. So, this is Rafi, aka signing off, friends.